What's up? And today we are doing a top 5 best pond baits. These are, in my opinion, my favorite pond baits. So I just have this one box that I take to pretty much everywhere. It's a complete mess. And it's got essentially everything. Okay, so the very first bait on my list would be a little finesse worm, like the Zoom trick worm. And I prefer the 4-inch, I think these are 4-inch, are they? Doesn't they? I think these are 4-inch, but I prefer the 4-inch. They're just a nice little small finesse worm to you get the deal. So you're getting 25 of these a pack, and they can be doubled as Stankos or whatever you want, but they're just a overall good pond worm. You can pretty much do anything with them. You can drop shot them, you can wacky rig them, you can Texas rig them. It's just a good all-around bait for pond fishing. That would be my number 1. That's the first bait, not my number 1. Not my favorite, but that's besides the point. Okay. This time I'm going to try to put all the stuff that I have in the description, like all the baits and everything. I know that I've not written a description in a long time. And by the way, thanks for 1,000 views on my one video. And for 100 subscribers. Thanks. Komodo Island Clearwater Shore. Oh, okay. So I did fish yesterday. It's just brutally hot today, though. Yesterday, Austin, who was in the one video where I dropped my GoPro in the water, he was in that video. We weren't catching any, so we went to trying to get these little bluegill to bite. So we were just throwing Brad at him, and Austin put on a salmon egg. And the second it hit the water, I didn't see it happening. I was tying on a giant circle hook to try to catch bass on a bluegill. I was ready for him to catch one and give it to me. So, anyways, he hooked. It was like a 10-pound koi. It was insane. I didn't even see it. I turned around, and then I was tying up, and I heard it snap, and then I looked over, and he's like this, and there's just this giant ripple in the water. So then we threw out another salmon egg, and I saw this fish come up and eat it. It was I think this one was a carp. I don't think it was a koi, but it came up and just slurped it up. It was like 10 pounds. It was like that wide. It was insane. Alright, so on to the next bait. My next bait these are pretty much like year-round patterns for ponds, but this bait is mostly a summertime bait. Would be a frog. This is just a little Savage Gear frog. It's a cheap frog, only $5. So it's worth and it has a pretty good walking action, and it's got you could either use this or spook, but spooks are more expensive than this, so I just go with this. I mean, there's no point in paying for more. And this thing has a great walking action. It spits lots of water. It's got that little chug mouth right there. Spits really well. It's just a good overall pond bait for not covering some water. I'm an idiot. Throwing your pads and stuff. So that's bait number 2. Okay, on to bait number 3 would be a jerk bait. I'll find a jerk bait. And I think I might have told this story in one of my early videos. The story of the Rapala UL 6 Minnow. This bait is probably my go-to bait for like absolutely anything. I mean, I've used it in every condition, and there's ponds where there's this pond down the road. If anybody lives in my area, it's in Christchurch near Grove Farm near Church. Near Christchurch. We all call it Grove. And the bass, they're like, just do not eat. You need either minnows or like tons of luck, or a wacky worm. Jake caught one on a wacky worm, but that's you have to fish it like really slow, and it takes like 3 turns around the pond to get one. So this catches crappies there. It catches it's caught the only bass that I've ever caught out of it. That pond I hate that pond. But they do have a fishing tournament there for trout, and I am entering that this year again. Actually, I don't think of it. That might be next weekend. I will film that tournament. It's one thing that I will do. So that would be my second bait, little jerk bait, just to cast along the bank, rip it back. Or this was my third bait. 1, 2, 3. Now for the fourth bait. My fourth bait would be a... I gotta think of this one. One of my favorite pond baits. Either a black and blue swim jig, or like this one, or a little red-eye shad, KVD red-eye shad. I'll show a picture of one. I usually pick it in 1/4 ounce because it's a smaller pattern, and it still gets decent fish, and it's not just picking out or these little jigs. These little jigs are good. These are from the one of my mystery tackle boxes. Oh, I dropped them. Those little jigs right there. But these are the black and blue swim jig by Terminator. It's a great little swim jig. Okay, so, or a red-eye shad, or a rattle trap, like something like this. I'll show the picture of the red-eye shad right now. And here's the rattle trap. Something like that. We catch a lot of crappie around here on these, and they were pretty well. So that would be either this or this would be my fourth pick. My fifth pick for ponds is, oh my gosh, what the heck. Anywho, my fifth bait would be, what was I trying to grab at? Oh yeah, a little Strike King. What the heck? Where'd they go? Oh, there. Strike King Baby Rage Craw, 3 inches. There's like a really weird scent to him. But that little bait right there, just Texas rig it, slow roll it on the bottom. I got a lot of bass on that. That's a good little, and I like the color on this. I either get a black and blue color for a trailer on this jig, or another bait that I like to throw in ponds is a chatterbait, or a spinnerbait, because you can cover some water with it. But I mean, not a spinnerbait like this, obviously. This is a giant spinnerbait. But that would have to be my fifth and final pick. This has been one heck of a video. I will see you. What? Hold on, I just realized something. In every last one of my videos, I go like this, and then I go down, and then I say something like this, and then I look out my window, and then I go boom. But I'm going to do it differently this time. First, I'm going to look out my window, then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go see ya.